So I didn't grow up a car guy, but gradually, with many years, I started collecting off-road vehicles and little hot hatches. So this is me. We hired a guide and a bunch of surgeons. We got together and went to Roush Creek in abandoned coal mines in Pennsylvania. Here I'm learning on how to use a stick shift and go off-road. This is not as easy as I thought it was going to be. Everybody else has automatic transmission and they go. I have no lockers. I have no. It's all manual. So that was fun. I also have another Land Cruiser. I have this 2015. I towed an Airstream with that. I changed the wheels to upgraded the wheels. My friend Punch is helping me here. And I went to more sidewall. Those are 17-inch wheels, and I use that to tow the FJ40, which has 15-inch wheels. We go off road. Here I am in at the beach in the Outer Banks, and we go every year with my brother. This is the four-wheel access-only area in Corolla. Here's my hot hatch. This is the Honda Civic Type R, a four-cylinder twin turbo, and there's a link to a video up here where I change my tires and I talk about the reason why I do that. So clearly I enjoy my cars. I enjoy going out with them and I enjoy using them. Here's another video where I was off-road with my friend Mike McDermott, and we're in Dubai at a meeting, and we took some time to try go-karting in the sand. It was pretty cool when we had to stop because the camels showed up, waited till the camels crossed, and we kept going. That you don't really see in America. But times are changing, and I've waited. I haven't gotten a Tesla. I decided it's time. I got to try electric, especially since I installed my own solar, which will be the subject of a different video. I wanted to install my own electric charging system, the EVSE. I wanted to get into this world, understand kilowatt hours, miles per kilowatt hours. I want to understand what electric vehicles are all about. So I decided to get the Hyundai Ioniq 5. I'm Korean. This is made by a Korean car company, and this was Car and Driver Car of the Year. Why not try it? So here I am leasing it. So the first thing I had to do is prepare my garage for this EVSE. I bought several pieces of plywood. I created furring strips. I then attached them to the wall with the help of my son. And I'm just getting ready for the sub panel. I hired out and contracted somebody to install a sub panel. So I hired my CrossFit friend, Mike Vandergreest. He came over, gave me an estimate, and we settled on a price. And here he is bringing all of his heavy equipment plus two other guys helping. I consider doing this myself, but this is 2-aught aluminum SER cable. It's not something I know how to do. And here he is working with this heavy wire, bringing that in. I had him put it in EMT to make it look clean, and he did a great job. So this is something I got into in my other YouTube video about my car and changing my tires, is pride in workmanship. And so, getting that plywood up there, that's beautiful. And now I'm taking out the bonding screw here, knowing how to do things, knowing how to do electrical. I'm using my voltmeter, testing things, making sure everything's off, and now I'm bending conduit. Now, this is 3/4-inch EMT conduit. It's not that hard to bend, but I haven't done it in a while. It's been 2 years since I did my solar project, so I'm struggling a little bit here, but I get better as things goes on. And actually, it's funny because by the time I'm doing some of the other work, I can bend it much faster once I know what I'm doing, or I have practiced it a little bit. But again, you want a surgeon who does things a lot. Like I'm doing this intermittently, electrical work, and so I'm not as facile as I should be if I were doing it every day. There's a little bit of a dog leg to that. It's not perfectly straight, and that's disappointing. But I'm getting practice with the conduit bender. I'm figuring out which knockout to knock out. I knock out that hole, and then I'm going to put in the EMT connector. And this is just fun. It's fun work. It's fun to think about these things, plan through things, think through to the future. And I consider this a real pleasure and joy. This is my holiday. This is the New Year. And instead of going somewhere, this is what I ended up doing. I enjoy doing things like this, these projects. Now, before installing my own EVSE, I of course thought about this. I did a lot of research. This is a 40 amp hardwired system, so I'm going to use a 50 amp breaker because of the 80% rule. With that in particular, I'm going to use 6-gauge wire because that can actually support higher amperage, but it's better to run things cool. So I'm going to use 6-gauge wire. And I actually made a mistake with the planning for this. I actually forgot that I don't need a neutral for an EVSE. I only need 2 hots. I don't need a white wire. There's a lot of ways to cut EMT. Here I'm just using a bandsaw that I got used off Facebook Marketplace. I've tried multiple different ways. A hacksaw, I don't mind using a hacksaw. A pipe cutter I've tried. There's many different ways to cut this. And here I'm reaming it out to get rid of the sharp burrs. And now another interesting thing is that I could have done this all actually in one piece of stick of EMT, one 10-footer, but I don't have confidence that I can do all the bends correctly, especially the box offsets. Some of the box offsets, I worry about making dog legs, and then I worry about things not being exactly 90 degrees, and I didn't want to deal with that. So here instead, I made multiple little pieces, box offsets, 90 degrees, and it's a very simple run. It's less than 10 feet, but I want to do this safely and correctly. And I bought the green ground wire as one. I bought the black wire, though, as one. And so I have to cut that to fit this properly. And I'm just unspooling the green wire and feeding it, which is the ground. So this is Dr. Lee. I spent all yesterday, well, actually yesterday I went to work, I saw patients, and then I had a half day. It's the new year, but I spent time doing the EMT run, and now it's easy to fish wire. I'm going to actually just do 2 phases. I ordered too much wire. This is 6/0 gauge AWG. So, and this is oversized. This is 8. I could have used the 10. I bought a little too much, not realizing. I'm surprised at how cheap wire prices have gotten. When I was doing solar, we were still coming out of COVID. Copper prices were ridiculous. And it's so much cheaper now. So look at this. Nice. Now, how much to leave? I actually want to leave a loop so that I can make a circle inside. Like basically, I'm always wondering, what if I'm going to switch to a Tesla or something else, and I want to be able to come in like that rather than. I should take a little more and come in like this. Well, now I'm feeding the other wire and getting that to the right distance, trimming it, getting it set for the right distance to reach the 50 amp breaker. I'm trimming the ends and getting ready to feed that into the breaker itself. It's all manual process, pretty straightforward, but still it's fun to do, and I want to do it correctly. And this is the brand new panel sub panel installed by a professional electrician. I couldn't run the 1/0 aluminum SCR cable, but what I need to do now is land my ground, and we'll land it up there, leave enough so we have some for the future. So we'll do that. As you can notice, the bonding screw has been removed because this is a sub panel. All right, so now I want to know what the torque specifications are here. So this Siemens breaker, it says the torque spec right on there. So if I'm using, I need more light here. Yeah, between 4 and 6 gauge, you need 45 inch-pounds. So it says 45 inch-pounds. So let's do it. So here's my torque wrench. Shank torque driver. So 45. I think this only goes up to 50. Goes up to 50. Yeah. All right. So we're at 45. Oh my God! Wow! It's amazing how much tighter it can go. Okay, 40. Okay, 25 done. Now this wall box is actually Fisker branded because Fisker went bankrupt. They sold a bunch of these EVSEs. I bought it from a guy who had purchased it there. I think he charged me a markup oh well, I didn't really understand at the time. And it was originally a plug-in version, so I removed the plug, and I had to buy a special little washer for like $1 in order to allow it to accommodate this 3/4 inch EMT. And I'm hardwiring it in. And the hardwired version actually allows you to go up to 48 amps. This is only 40 amps because that's what it was rated for. It has a little dial that I can set to actually hard set exactly what amperage I want to allow. Again, I'm going to set it to the 40 amp setting, and actually I'm charging at 24 amps, 240 volts on 24 amps. I don't really need to go too fast, too high. Again, it's always best to run things cool because you don't want to test the limits of your system. The wall box is 11.5, so that should be a lot easier than the 45 I struggled with. I don't understand. The same wire, a little bit above 10, as you can see there. So let's torque these guys down. Now I'm gonna try to provide some counter pinches. This should have used plastic. There we go. It's remarkable how different it is to use a wrench. You just realize that. I'm backing off, retorquing. Back off, retorque. Back off, retorque. With electrical work, I've learned that doing the torque specs is super important. And now is the fun part, putting on the front plate and connecting with Wi-Fi.